We
What's
are
up?
live. What's
Welcome,
up, guys?
Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom's Monday Cinema Club. We're back.
We're back.
Monday Cinema Club.
Welcome
everybody.
to
I'm Dante
our
Bosco.
Monday Cinema Club. I'm Alice Rahmatullah. For my Chinese fans, 大家好，欢迎来到我们的电影俱乐部。For my Uyghur fans, yaxshimsizlar, bizni kino klubimiz
Yaxshimisiz to all you Uyghur fans.
Yaxshimsizlar.
What about the Filipino
yaxshimisiz
fans?
For
Kamusta
Filipino
ka?
fans,
To the
kamusta
people all
ka?
around the world.
For
What's up?
Spanish fans, hola, hola, ¿cómo estás? For French people,
What about just all the
bonjour.
Americans out there?
For
What's poppin'?
everybody in America.
Brand new whip just
What's
hopped in.
up, y'all?
Hey,
we're
we're back. Thank you for joining us. This is Monday Cinema Club. Every week, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we talk about movies. Me and Alice Rahmatullah right here. Today, I'm posting, the movie we're talking about is
Indiana Jones,
Right.
Temple of Doom.
Indiana Jones.
What a classic films. So this is if this is
a
your
long
first
title.
time jumping
Indiana.
into the live, it's okay. We're gonna give you a brief little bit of a description of what's going on. This is a Monday Cinema Club. It's just like a book club. We watch the movie in advance. And every Monday, 3 p.m., we talk about it and then we discuss. We like it, we don't like it, we hate it, or we love it, and all kinds of stuff. There is no right or wrong, so we're not professors. So we can
I got
just
that on there.
talk the movie and maybe debate
Thank you,
with
Jane
Dante
Amber
Bosco.
said so many times. Cosmos Caution, what's up? Bob?
What's up,
Boba Buddies
everyone?
forever. How you doing? Mary back in the house.
Hi, Mary.
Hi, Nino Farr. What's up? Thank
Hi,
you everybody
Nino
that
Farr.
joined us as we did Cinema
Hi,
Club on
Chocolate
Pop Shop Live.
Memrock.
Chocolate Memrock.
Memrock.
Mr. Rock.
Mr. Memrock.
What's poppin'?
What's poppin'?
Hey, thank you guys, everybody who joined us for Cinema Club shop on Pop Shop Live.
Pop Shop Live on
We
Saturday.
watched. For people that didn't know, we watched live Suicide Squad, the whole movie on like a Netflix watch party, and then we gave away a set of Funko Pops. The whole I don't even have it.
Funko.
It's unreleased Suicide Squad Funko Pops.
Funko Pops.
It's like $100 gift that we gave away to a guy named Brandon. Shout out to Brandon. Anyway, how y'all doing? Mia T had it. How you doing? Lily Bailey 63. Hello, Ross Martin. Brian. What's up? Boba Buddies forever.
Boba Buddies forever.
Avatar girl, where you
Jaden.
at? Where you is?
Hey, Avatar girl.
So this week,
So
I'm wearing a fedora because my man Indiana Jones had a fedora. You wearing this? What you wearing?
I'm wearing my cute.
You ain't wearing nothing.
Dress. No, this is. What are you talking about? Yes, I'm wearing nothing. You not see nothing?
You wearing a slip. Kate Capshaw basically is wearing a slip through the whole dang movie. So maybe is that what you got inspired by? Her wearing, her walking around in whatever.
Her walking around whatever. Hey, this is such a cute dress. I mean, I tried.
So we're gonna get into this movie. Then we're gonna get some people in here, and then we're gonna talk about all this Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom situation. Directed, of course, by Steven Spielberg.
Okay, let me give a little bit of this.
Starring, of course, Harrison Ford, Kate Capshaw, how do you pronounce it? Ke-Huy Quan? That's who played Short Round. Shout out to Short Round. Ke-Huy Quan.
Ke-Huy Quan.
Shout out to Ke-Huy Quan.
Ke-Huy Quan.
What's poppin'? He's amazing. I met him like one time in my life. And so many other great people. Amarish Puri, Philip Roth, Rashawn Seth, all these dudes. But definitely Harrison Ford, Kate Capshaw, Ke-Huy Quan. This film, go ahead. Give us a breakdown of the film and we'll talk about the film.
I've been holding this hot on this computer for a while. I gotta read this. Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom is 1984 American action-adventure film directed by Steven Spielberg, of course. It is the second installment in the Indiana Jones franchise.
Which we watched, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Raiders of Lost Ark.
So this is the first sequel we're doing. We've got a few sequels.
And this is a sequel. And started after arriving in the Indiana Jones is asked by the desperately villagers to find a mystical stone and rescue their children from the how do you pronounce this word?
I know Thuggee. The name of the cult was the Thuggee cult.
Thuggee
I'm not
cult
sure about that name. Is that a real name?
practicing child slavery, black magic, and ritualistic human sacrifice in honor to the goodness
Goddess,
God.
Kali Ma.
Goddess
Kali Ma.
So this is a
I feel
short
like that should be a rapper.
description
Kali Ma,
of-
yo, this is Kali Ma in the streets of the.
Yeah, see, this is what's going on. This is what's going. Every time when I'm trying to talk or
I'm just adding color to the
you're
conversation.
not adding nothing. You just,
What else is going on in the story? We got so basically.
And, basically, now wishing to future the Nazis at the Williams again. Villains again. George Lucas, executive producer and a co-writer, decided to regard this film as a prequel.
It's a prequel, actually,
It's
you guys.
a prequel. It's not
Raiders
a
of the
sequel.
Lost Ark. It's a prequel.
Yes.
If it was a prequel instead of a sequel, how come my man Short Round wasn't in Raiders of the Lost Ark? He was the man.
Okay. This film was released on financial success, but initial reviews were mixed. Criticized its darker elements and
Let's talk
violence.
about that. Let's talk about that.
However, critical opinion has improved since 1984, citing the film's intensity and an imagination in response to some of the more violent sequences in film. With a similar complaints about this, Steven Spielberg suggested the Motion Picture Association of America alter its rating system, which did within 2 months of the film's release, creating a new PG-13
This was
rating.
the film that made PG-13. And this came out in 1984. Some will argue, we had a talk with Mike Capes, that the best filmmaking of all time all came out in 1984. This is one of the 1984 movies. Sweating. We are sweating. We Kali Ma. So it's hot as heck in LA. We're talking about Indiana Jones. This film, you want to go first or I should go first?
You go first because you have a special relationship with the Steven Spielberg.
I mean, I have a special relationship with Steven Spielberg. I don't know about this film.
And, I mean, you go first.
He's an amazing director. This film, of course, Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom. I think Raiders of the Lost Ark, Temple of Doom are like the classic action adventure films. This movie was so crazy watching it this time. It was so violent to see that PG-13. Like, you don't see it in our blockbuster films. We just watched Free Guy last night, which is like a summer blockbuster film. There's violence in it, but it's like play violence. This is like real violence. They were like killing people like that were going to stay dead. They were beat like little Short Rounds getting whipped. I mean, Indiana Jones was getting whipped, and then Short Round was getting whipped, and blood, and then all that food. I mean, I don't know what culture we were talking. Was this an Indian culture? Was this Middle East? I don't know where this culture was.
Indian.
Was it Indian? And then they had, I mean, I had so many images in my mind, especially the monkey brain. It was more vivid in my mind than what was here. Here's like kind of like a set monkey. They took the brain off and they started eating the brain. I swear I had an image in my mind where the monkey was still alive, kind of like struggling around. They were like bashing the brain. Maybe it's another movie. I don't know.
You're missing. You're tripping something.
What? I'm just having memories of this movie. I do remember watching this movie in the theater, and its movie is a blockbuster. So it's so fun. There's so many aspects of it. I started remembering the video game that came out, the Temple of Doom, when you're riding that cart and whatnot, and the whip. I have so many. I mean, my mind's all over the place because I love the movie. Young Harrison Ford.
Okay,
it's just so funny.
Let me help you.
I'm not done talking yet. No, I'm just playing. Just teasing. Go.
What was that?
I'm
Don't
just teasing.
Aggressive.
That was Faces of Death, that monkey scene. That was Faces of Death. Okay, so Faces of Death, I'm getting all, it's probably 1984. But, so, there's so many things that I gotta talk about this dang movie, though. It's exciting. It kept getting crazier and crazier. I was talking smack recently about when me and Alice went to go see Fast and Furious 9, and we're like, what is going on in this blockbuster summer movie? But this had the same kind of stuff going on where it kept getting worse for the heroes to get out of. And then that happened, and then this happened. It was like they kept on piling up the impossibilities.
The impossibility, obstacles.
Obstacles and possibilities. I mean, who doesn't love Indiana Jones? Harrison Ford is just so great as like, it's Han Solo, you know, in as a anthropologist, and he got the hat. Archaeologist.
Anthropologist.
That's a store on the mall, right?
Archaeologist.
And that whip.
That whip. Okay.
You think that whip is a good weapon until you buy a whip. I bought a whip when I was in Mexico one time. I bought a whip. I think it was like $5-6. I bought a black whip.
Why do you want a big whip?
They're selling them at the little stores in Sonata.
For what?
What do you mean?
What do you mean in
so
Sonata?
You can whip.
Whip who?
I just want a whip. I was a kid a whip, but I'm going to tell you something about whip as a weapon. Not a good weapon. Doesn't do anything that Indiana Jones does. What? Nothing. Doesn't hold nothing. You can't swing. Who? You can't grab somebody and pull them to you. You can make that sound pop, and then if you whip someone, it hurts. But you can't like grab them and pull them. You can't do any of that stuff. You can't like whip a.
Because you're not Indiana Jones.
I know. No. I know I'm not Indiana Jones, but I'm saying it's not a practical weapon.
My time to talk. Okay, are you done?
Yep.
So, I like this movie.
His whip is
However, what's up with that opening scene?
You're going to the opening scene. I did remember.
What's up with that opening scene?
I did remember.
And then they said in the subtitles, speaking Chinese.
Do you speak Chinese?
That's not a Chinese at all.
Maybe it was Cantonese.
No, that's not Cantonese either.
Maybe your Chinese is not that good anymore.
They said speaking Chinese, and I was literally like, listen very, very carefully. I couldn't understand one word. Not even one word. Not at all. Like
they're in Shanghai dancing.
Maybe they're speaking Shanghainese with the accent.
Cafe Obi-Wan. Just side note, you saw Cafe Obi-Wan, yeah? Cafe Obi-Wan. That was dope.
I was talking, Dante.
I'm sorry.
When you're talking, I was like quiet.
Maybe they're speaking Shanghainese. That's what someone said. Maybe they're speaking Shanghainese.
That's what I'm saying. I'm talking.
I did like when they were dancing and they came up with the credits. Okay, she's in front of the credits. I remember that. It was so dope when she's dancing.
And again, so it is 1984. Of course, the cast.
But in the movie, it's 1935. Ouch! You guys saw that? She pinched me down underneath.
Because I'm talking. Do you want me to talk or not?
I want you to talk. I'm gonna give you all the time right now. Go.
Oh my God, guys, this guy is crazy.
Yes.
So with the opening scene, of course, it's a movie shot in 1980s. Of course, the cast was all white people when playing Asians, especially dancers. And however, I did not understand Mandarin. The script, it's not a big deal. It's fine. But
was she saying anything goes in Mandarin?
No.
Okay.
The opening scene is kind of little weird, but the right away in the first 5 minutes you will understand what's going on, and then action starts and intense killing people right and left, and you will got caught, you will get into that tension right away. So that's the major all action films, all they do it all the time in the first 10 minutes or first 5 page or first 10 page. If you don't know what's going on, if you don't know, go to action doesn't start, and that is kind of tricky. However, it starts a classic Steven Spielberg film, and the soundtrack is so classic. Whatever happens, or first act, second act, something good happened, the universal soundtrack is classic one. What was it? Da 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 da. The classic soundtrack is.
I wanted to have it play for us right now.
It is always bad action ends, and then the good hope, good things start.
You were singing Star Wars, but I think that or something.
No, it's not Star Wars. I didn't even watch Star Wars. How do I supposed to?
Go keep talking. I'm gonna find that music for us.
So that, it's very classic action film, and then the soundtrack is very classic. And I mean,
by John Williams. Shout out to John Williams. John Williams does all his movies.
It's called March Epic Version.
What?
Of March.
Oh no, God, this is not good. Oh my God, I don't want that commercial.
What are you doing?
Sorry. They know we want to watch it. They're giving us an ad because they know people are trying to look at that thing.
Indiana Jones here played by Harrison Ford.
Harrison.
And Ki Hui Kwan. I don't know how to pronounce in Chinese name, to be honest. Yeah, this is one. When you go to Studio City, then
let me stop that before they turn us off because of copyrights. Yes, love that.
Yeah, song. It is like when you go to Studio City, the Indiana Jones ride. Do they have ride? Right?
Yeah, they have a ride.
And then that
it's
music
the Temple of Doom, right?
Yeah,
it is the Temple of Doom.
Temple of Doom. That music starts right away. Like it's so classic. And then it's so
Short Round
magical.
actor was in Goonies also.
So magical. Like when they making this film, I'm like literally like thinking like, are they like literally already thought about it? This process is gonna become a huge worldwide theme park, merchandising, intellectual property. Are they really thought about it?
He thought about that.
You know
George Lucas thought about George Lucas created that. He created Star Wars. George Lucas thought about all that. I guarantee.
What about Steven Spielberg?
He also thought, but Steven Spielberg is one of them classic directors that.
He's not only classic director. He's also a freaking genius.
He is a genius.
Entrepreneur.
Yeah, of course, all the movies. I mean, Jurassic Park. Like, they made a lot of money on toys.
Indiana Jones is all turn out to worldwide theme park and intellectual property. And I like to interrupting Dante because it feels so good. And so I just want to shortcut and add one. Short Round. He is great actor.
Great. Awesome.
I mean, Steven Spielberg has a magical power to directing kids actor. So you work with him as a kid actor. Right. So you know he has a magical like power to direct a kid actor. Just let the kid be kid in front of the camera.
Yeah.
Period.
I think that's the whole thing.
So great.
He had great moments in the movie. Spielberg is a you could tell he's a classic director, but he loves movies. There's so many homages to like classic films. He does a bunch of movies. The whole like Shadow. There's like a shadow fighting.
He did
Indiana Jones. This is like very Errol Flynn. Very like that era of filmmaking and sword fighting and the fights.
And he also make like small tiny twist right before the third act ends, like right before the third act ends, like they think, like we all think, I was like, oh my god, finally they got the stone, and then oh my god, they finally saved the hero. Also, and then there's like little twist, like classic twist, and it gave a little bit tiny bit obstacle, like was like, oh.
And he also got a bunch of comedy. He always loves to put a little that comedy in it. Like, but even all the comedy in the movie, this movie was so dang violent. They were messing kids up. They were enslaving kids. They were messing kids up. They were beating people. They were eating crazy food. People were dying.
What's your favorite scene?
Okay, that's good. Before we bring people, what's your favorite scene? What's yours? Let me think.
My favorite scene is when the let me remember the.
They pulled the person's heart up their chest.
When Ridley Scott, she's having a dinner with the people in India, and everybody eating, like she's like, okay, I'm gonna have some like light soup. Can I just have a soup? And then they brought like a whole bucket of like soup, and then she just like tried to eat it.
Like
eyeballs. That eyeball comes in so real.
Would you eat it though?
Hell no.
Monkey brain?
No.
Monkey brain?
Why don't you just do?
Hold on a second.
Our phones goes to silent, and we don't interrupt our live streaming. Duh. You're welcome.
It's hot as hell.
And another my favorite scene is when the Indiana Jones and William, no, what is her name? Willie. They come.
It's weird. Her name is Willie, right?
They finished their
One-eyed Willie
mission, and she's like, I don't want to go to another adventure with you, and she's like so aggressive, like I do not sign up for this, and she left, and he's just like whooped at her ass.
Kalima!
And hold her and pull her clothes.
They got some real culty stuff going in this movie. Real cultish stuff going on in this movie.
So what is your favorite scene? The cult stuff?
No, I don't want the cult stuff. That stuff's crazy.
But you got little.
My favorite scene. I mean, as a kid, my memory was when they're going through the mine shafts and they're doing all that stuff. Yes. All that fighting scene. So fun. So great. And yeah, it's just like a fun action, like, I don't know, this kind of like finding a lost treasure and like, oh, that was great. I like the Kali Ma stuff. I mean, that the images in my mind, like after that whole thing with the eating the monkey brains and the snake babies and all that stuff, the eyeball soup, and she didn't eat anything, and he comes with like the apple. You're like, the bowl of fruit.
Oh yeah, my favorite scene.
That's your favorite scene now. That's your favorite scene.
Thank you for reminding. Also, one of my favorite scenes is like one day, like, okay, you're not gonna sleep with me, all right? You're gonna come back in after 5 minutes. And Indiana Jones like, you're gonna come back to my house in after 5 minutes, and they separated in a different house and just waiting for. And she's like putting her pajamas, like whatever. This is not pajamas, by the way.
What is that?
This is called in, wear, out.
In underwear, outwear. What's crazy is he was telling her that she's going to come to his room, but then he has short round on the couch.
Yeah.
What are you doing, Indiana Jones? What are you doing?
That's my favorite scene. It's so real.
Mary says Dr. Jones was a womanizer. I mean,
Dr. Jones is... For sure, it is a womanizer. I mean, it's 1984. What do you like at the time?
When they took his top off and he was just chilling there, like with no shirt on, he was pretty ripped.
He's pretty ripped. Like you're action guy. You fight, so that's why you have to have a better.
He's Indiana fucking Jones.
Exactly, and should we bring more people in? We have two VIP guests.
Let's go bring a VIP guest in early, one at the end, and maybe a few people in the middle. So who's our first one that we're bringing in?
First one, I forgot we're here. Okay.
Who are they? I'm gonna bring someone.
Okay, here.
What's the name?
Frank
Gallagher, right
Gallagher.
Here. All right, Frank.
He's from New York.
Yo, Frank. What are we doing? Hey, Frank, it's been good to see you. Welcome back. Talk to us about Temple of Doom.
Great movie. Indiana Jones is like a very definitive 80s movie series, and it's very nostalgic. And I'm looking forward to the 5th movie. So.
I am too. We can do. Now, I guess we can. You brought up the whole IP, so we can dive into all of them. There's been 4. Including the Shia LaBeouf one. What'd you think about that one?
That one was good, but my favorite's the Temple of Doom.
Your favorite?
Yeah, I think Temple of Doom is great. Did you realize how violent it is? I don't think Spielberg ever got this violent again. This is so violent.
Because of this movie, they created PG-13.
This movie was intense for a blockbuster film. Like, whoa, this is a real pain going on in this movie.
I just rewatched it recently because I saw it when I was a little kid. I never really noticed how violent it was. I thought it was pretty normal, but now I do.
When you were a kid?
Yeah, and then the eye scene kind of scared me.
Yeah, the eye scene. There's certain things, because I'm saying, like, when you watch it now, we're used to our blockbuster films, or summer blockbuster films being not really real violent, like not really being scared. This film was like
changed
these cats were really getting killed. People were trying to kill them.
I mean,
there's
when
comedy.
Josh came out?
What?
When is the movie Josh?
Jaws before this.
Jaws before.
Spielberg directed Jaws. That was like
Jaws, exactly. That
80.
Not Jaws.
Also directed Hook.
Oh, just.
He also directed Hook. Yes.
And E.T. Great movies.
That movie is kind of violent too.
Very violent. But this was, I mean, it was more violent than I remembered it too, Frank. Definitely. What's one of your favorite moments in the movie?
The roller coaster, the minecart scene.
Great, right? So good.
Funny.
And they're fighting in the middle of it, so that's scary.
Yeah, they're fighting in the middle of it.
And then he thought he dropped that guy, and he just like smiles, like what up?
Yeah, there's a great scene when he hits the guy. And he's like, "Hey," and then the guy comes back
out of the nowhere.
That's Indiana Jones. That's Han Solo. That's like the goofy kind of like meathead guy.
You notice how in the end of Temple of Doom, they had that scene where he gets chased by a bunch of guys with swords, similar to how Han Solo gets chased by a bunch of stormtroopers.
Yeah, I mean, Indiana Jones is Han Solo. I mean, he is Harrison Ford, but I think they're the same character to a degree, just in different worlds.
One of the things I did not like it is, I'm not sure about you guys, you two, man. I don't like it. It's like, even though when I was little, every time when I'm watching action film, like there's a woman and she can do nothing.
Yes.
Nothing. She always just like stands there.
That's the
and
datedness of this particular
and
film.
And just like fall off. Like, why don't you just grab something,
Right.
hit
It's
someone?
not like that in the Suicide Squad though. Now they're doing
Suicide
stuff.
Squad.
Suicide Squad.
Things
Did
change.
you watch with us on Saturday, 5 p.m.?
No, but I watched it like 3 times. It's that good.
It's really good. We really liked it.
The second one is great.
We gave away a full set of Funkos, and I want to get a set. We got
I want a full set of Funkos
too. We gave it away.
I know. We gave it away.
Yo, David Dastmalchian, the Polka Dot Man, did great. He's in like
Polka
every
Dot Man was
DC
great.
movie.
What about that Weasel though? What about Weasel?
What about
Weasel?
the T-shirt?
I don't want to spoil it for people who didn't see it, but we know.
But I'm just
We're
saying,
not
he looks crazy.
talking about Suicide Squad.
No, we're talking
guys.
about
We're
Indiana
talking
Jones.
about Indiana
So,
Jones. Temple of
We were
Doom.
just talking about something that I wanted to say.
I was
John
talking
Williams
about
with the
women.
music.
Like
Oh,
the woman
women.
is always weak of those
This
old
is
action
before.
films.
They're not making movies like that anymore. Now all the women are fighting.
That are
are part of the
that's
fights as much as the men.
That's the real.
That's the real.
But that's a good thing, though.
If a guy came in his house right now to fight you, you're there.
You did not see the sword like behind the door?
Okay.
Japanese sword.
Just let you guys
I
know.
was ready to
If
go.
you come in here, you can buy a samurai sword by Alice. Don't come in here.
Allison does like martial arts and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think all the women being in the fight, because Kate Capshaw in this movie did not fight. She's like, was definitely not.
Even though like someone grabbing your hand, even though you do not know how you fight, woman has to do something, like slap their faces or push or anything.
Or just shoot
something.
them.
Short Round was kicking ass. Short Round was a little.
Exactly, she's a little kid.
He.
That's what I said. He's a little kid.
I'm really hoping Short Round's in the 5th movie. They have to bring him back.
I would love to have him back. He came. I mean, I met him like one time around town years later.
Is he a Chinese or Japanese guy?
I want to say he's Vietnamese, but I don't remember exactly. But he was super nice. And then the movie Finding Ohana, he's in that film, so maybe he's coming back. Maybe he will come back in the 5th version.
I'll be very happy if he does.
That'd be amazing.
Also, River Phoenix playing young Indiana Jones was great.
On the series?
No, The Last Crusade.
In The Last Crusade, that's right. Last Crusade.
He's Chinese Vietnamese.
He is Chinese Vietnamese. See,
Mix.
Me and Jed Anghart, we're on point with it.
You guys notice how Indiana Jones just never dies, like no matter what?
Right. I mean, that's the thing. Like I was telling Alice, I was complaining a little bit about Fast and Furious 9, about how ridiculous it is, and these guys going to space and all this stuff.
But they did it for family.
They did it for family, because families,
We're family. I mean.
But when I watched this movie, this was kind of like the precursor to friggin' Fast and the Furious 9. Like, basically, especially in this movie, Indiana Jones, he just keeps getting it. Oh, they're going here, then the water's coming out, and then the water's breaking, and then got to go there, then they go to the bridge, and then they're at the bridge, and there's 2 people there. It just kept getting like, then there's crocodiles. You just kept loading it to like how
all the obstacles kept.
Yeah, how bad can the situation get for Indiana Jones to get
His
out?
hat never fell off, even on the bridge.
His hat never falls off.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Like, we literally thought about it too. Like,
hat?
His
stayed
fedora
on.
hat is always there. Like,
he saved it though. He once it fell off, he saved it one time. But then he has that whip. Frank, you got that whip.
The whip is kind of unrealistic, but it looks cool.
That whip is OP.
And whip is Indiana Jones' classic whip, but I don't know why.
But whip in real life, you guys, whip in real life ain't gonna do nothing for you in a fight. Zero. Nothing.
You know the actor who plays Mola? I've seen him in like so many Bollywood movies when I was a kid.
Oh really? Yeah, he does look super familiar.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about.
It's like the Kalima and the young Maharashi. At first, I was like, damn, the young Maharashi's in it. He was, with him, but then you find out he was just hypnotized, and he was cool. But the kids are getting their punches in, and they're punching the hell out of each other. I was like, damn, their kids are whipping each other's ass right now.
I hope there's people from India or people who understand this culture explains.
I'm not sure that movie had the real Indian culture in it, personally.
I mean,
I don't know
not
about
the real
Kalima.
culture. It's not about that, but I don't know the Kalima. What's that stands for? Why is that eating their
Kalima?
I don't know.
But then he went in there, reached in and grabbed the heart. That was crazy.
They're throwing people in like the fire. Like that seems like pretty scary.
They're throwing people in the
I
fire.
think that's the sacrificing for the god or
They're
whatever
pulling people's hearts out their chest, and they're enslaving the kids.
That's a lot of things going on.
Pretty dark for that probably wouldn't work out these days in the movie.
Yeah, these days, yeah, I can't see this movie getting made today.
It's hard to make movies these days. There's so many
This has to be. It had to be something else. It can't be Kali Ma. Can we go pitch Kali Ma movie? Kali Ma. All right, Frank. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me again. It's always nice.
Appreciate your point of view.
I'm looking forward to Avatar Studio projects with Dante.
What's up?
I'm looking forward to your Avatar Studio projects if you're involved in any of those.
We'll see. I'm looking forward to those also. So we'll see what happens.
All right then.
All right.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right.
Bye.
So Frank always has a lot of good things to say. Such a knowledgeable guy.
Let's see.
Let's see.
If you watch
Temple of Doom, this movie,
and
Indiana Jones, and you got something to say about this movie,
hashtag
what? What?
Doom.
Doom?
What are we hashtag for?
Hashtag Kali Ma. Hashtag Kali Ma. And we'll bring you in here, Kali Ma.
Of course, Kalima.
I love Kali Ma.
Okay.
Denise says Alice should be in the next Suicide Squad. I agree.
I agree. Thank you.
Oh, you know what? Also, this dude hit me up to talk about it. This dude hit me up personally, said he needed to talk about some stuff. Yeah. Let's see if he's coming.
All right.
All right.
What's up?
Storm.
Welcome to our bed,
My homie Storm,
She gets-
photographer extraordinaire.
A lot of times I come into these and I don't have much to say about the movies you guys are talking about. But this specific movie, I have lots of things to say.
Yeah. Okay, we already watched Indiana Jones. She watched Raiders of the Lost Ark first, and then now we're watching Temple of Doom.
Temple of Doom.
Temple of Doom is the most interesting one.
Oh no!
Oh my God! You froze.
You froze.
Come back. You said
You froze.
Temple of Doom's the most interesting one.
We're good.
So go. Give it to us.
Okay.
Give it to us.
Temple of Doom. How do I hide these comments because they're distracting me?
Okay, I don't know.
Anyway.
Karima.
So did you guys talk? Did you guys talk about production of this movie?
No. Talk about it whatever you want to talk about.
No, talk whatever you want to talk.
Can you hear me?
Get the hair right. Yeah, get the hair right.
Okay.
The hair's flowing.
So I think this movie specifically is so interesting when you look at it. You know, it created the PG-13 genre. There was no
we talked about that. That's
there
crazy.
was, so there was no PG-13. And I think this movie is what broke Steven Spielberg. You know what I mean?
Talk about it.
How so?
Because, you know, he had done Jaws, he had done a bunch of other movies, but this movie, and I know this is a PG-13-esque live, but this movie, Steven Spielberg did not give a fuck about anything. If you look at how dark and brutal this movie is.
This is probably the darkest film he's ever done.
This is the darkest movie that he ever done. You look at it, like, Short Round is getting tortured. Fucking Indiana Jones.
He's getting whipped. They're both getting whipped simultaneously. He's saving Short Round. He whips that dude, and Short Round gets to watch this dude hang from a ceiling fan. Yeah. People are dying for real. Like, no jokes, just dying.
So when it came out, he got so much flack. Steven Spielberg got so much backlash from moms and families all the way around. If you look at it, he never, ever made a movie as ambitious as this movie ever again. Even his movies that were Saving Private Ryan, still not as brutal and dark as this movie.
Pretty brutal for a blockbuster summer film.
Exactly. It was one of the only times Steven Spielberg was like, I don't really give a shit. I'm just going to make what I want to make. And at the end of the day, it kind of backfired on him. Because when he made Last Crusade, it kind of goes back to the Raiders style.
He softened it up.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't even know that this movie is a prequel. This takes place before Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah, it's a pre Raiders of the Lost Ark.
If it's a prequel, where's my man Short Round? That dude is amazing.
You know, I always wondered, like, why didn't Short Round ever come back around?
Short Round had to come back around more often.
My favorite scene in the entire movie is when they're playing. It's a small moment, and it's when they're playing cards around the campfire.
Yeah, and they're cheating.
And he's like, Andy, you're cheating. Andy, you're a cheat. And he grabs Short Round by the wrist, he goes, "Well, what's this, kid?" And Short Round has a fucking card up his sleeve too.
That's
It's so funny, the Short Round's dialogue is so simple.
So good though.
And it's so good.
I thought about that. We were talking about directing kids, and Spielberg is like the master at directing kids. But part of it is to let the kids just be kids.
But whatever he says.
Do you have any history with that guy? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know if he.
No, but when I got to him, I was like a 50-year-old actor trying to act my ass off. But you see kids like younger, like, he just lets them be kids. It's kind of crazy.
I think it's even quite the opposite sometimes. I think you look at Spielberg, and I think the 80s, he had it so on lock with kids that he treated them like actors.
That's true.
I mean? He didn't treat them like children, especially in Temple of Doom. If you look at him, even the way, I think it's projected, he projected himself into Indy, and the way Indy treated Short Round is probably the way he treated his children actors. Is Indy treats Short Round exactly how any other.
That's true. Like it's a partner.
It's just like a partner.
He's like, you're my best friend.
You're my best friend, and you don't. The Indy doesn't treat the kid like a kid, like you're a little kid. Like,
I mean, look at
protect yourself. Like, go cut this, go save her, or go this.
Why wasn't Short Round in Raiders? Damn it.
Well, you look at Short Round. His very first scene is he's driving the car.
Yeah.
He picks up Indy in the car. When I saw you guys are doing Temple of Doom, I was like, oh my god, there's so much things to talk about.
Low-key, like, Short Round is the MVP in this movie. Without Short Round,
Temple of Doom,
Indiana Jones is dead.
Yeah. No, I think Indy in Temple of Doom is the most like pessimistic version of Indy that there is. I think it's like my favorite. When he runs up at the end of that movie, and he's shirtless, and he's all just like fucking just beat to shit, but he's like still sweaty, and like he's the beefiest he's ever been, and he's out there, but they don't re-trope the same things. And I think that's the great part, is like, that if you catch it, the same guy that he fights in Raiders of the Lost Ark, the big dude that he fights, is the exact same actor in Temple of Doom playing a different. He's the same guy. It's the exact same guy that when he's fighting the big dude and they're fighting on the cart, it's the exact same.
They must have a lot of extra backgrounds. I don't think
it's the same guy.
Exact same guy. Go back and look at him.
Holy shit!
When they first start fighting,
I did not pay attention to that at all.
Yeah, it's the same. And it was like, I think that was their little like on the nose joke of like, when Andy he pulls out the gun again when that guy is waving the sword, but it doesn't work.
Yeah, but he doesn't have it this time.
Yeah,
they're doing. I think Spielberg and Lucas, they're friends and they're movie buffs. They're doing a lot of inside jokes of all the movies they grew up with, the movies they love, Errol Flynn movies and stuff. They're like parodying it in their own way and like have inside jokes the whole time, for sure.
I think if you really had to choose, I think Raiders is still like my favorite. I think Crusade has, a lot of people love Crusade. They think Crusade is the best out of the three.
Crusade's amazing.
But I think when I like look back, I'm like, man, I just love Temple of Doom because it's so odd and it's so weird and it's so out of place that it makes it my favorite. And it's just so brutal and dark.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Interesting.
It was good.
Yeah, I was like wondering why that movie just started, like opening scene and started from the Shanghai and then goes to Nepal and India.
Yeah,
like,
I don't think it's
cross the Tibet mountain. Why didn't they just decide it from the India or Nepal? Like, how's that adds?
I don't know.
I think it's just because I think it shows Indy like he's a well-traveled character and they show. But I think it has it's not a perfect movie. It has its flaws. I think the woman who plays the I don't think she adds really anything to the film.
Kate Capshaw.
Exactly, Kate Capshaw.
She added something to Steven Spielberg's life. She ended up marrying him.
Exactly, and that's why she was in that movie.
Don't say we don't know. She was funny. She was all
right.
No, don't say that. You never know.
They talk about it. They've talked about it in interviews for the last 30 years of why he put
a great actress, and she got that job. And guess what? Her amazing acting skills and attracting Steven Spielberg.
Steven Spielberg was like, I love her. I'm gonna give her this job, and we're gonna get married.
You guys are trying really hard to not give it credit for it.
I'm giving credit to the woman.
The way they wrote,
I don't like her anyways.
The way they wrote that character.
She can do anything. That makes me so angry. Like, why the woman can not do anything? Just grab something, like stick or knife or gun or something. Do something.
I mean, my favorite scene is her and Indy together, though. When
they had some good
chemistry.
They had some good chemistry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing is, like, her character was useless. Like, all she was to be able to.
No one's putting that character in a movie anymore. That character doesn't exist.
Right? But you look at Raiders and his first love interest. Like, she is so capable.
True.
You know what I mean?
True.
Dog is ripping stuff up. But you know, I think it has some of the best acting that he's done as Indy. Like when the walls are closing down.
Oh, great.
And she's like, I don't want to touch the bugs. He's like, if you don't do this, we are going to die. It's just
what about
so
that whip, Storm? What about that whip?
I can only think about when he hangs the guy.
Did you hear that? Or you missed it? Dante said he bought the whip.
I'm sure a lot of people out there have bought a whip over their lives.
Who buy a whip? Who buy a whip?
I have the whip.
For
I have the whip.
what?
I have the hat.
You have the whip and the hat?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
God. But I'm gonna tell you something about that whip though. You don't do nothing. You can't do anything.
You guys are so silly.
That whip is not going to help you in an altercation.
Well, let me know when you guys are going to talk about Blade Runner, and then we can.
We got to talk about.
We can talk about it. So you can't. Oh, look, dog's in a beanbag. So she's hanging out.
Oh, what's up?
What's up, party dog?
Yeah. Did you guys like Temple of Doom?
I loved it.
Yeah, I loved it. I mean, it's a fun action roller coaster. I mean, it's a worldwide famous theme park.
They don't make movies like that anymore.
Not anymore.
Anymore. I don't know if you can make that movie anymore. No one's gonna make that movie no more.
I mean, you better be not make exactly the same movie. Like, don't make a movie and a woman can do nothing.
Maybe M. Night Shyamalan gonna come back and make that movie from the Kali Ma side.
Please don't.
But however, side note. Storm, you have to watch The Free Guy.
I heard it's good.
It's good. No,
you have to. You will.
I heard it's way better than you thought.
We love that movie, but she's in love with the movie, and we just watched it last night.
I feel like that movie is gonna nominate it.
Shout out to the homie Utkarsh in the flick, killed it.
Mark my word. I think that movie is gonna nominate it for.
Oh my gosh, she's calling it earlier. It's gonna get on some. Yes. This film was nominated for 11 awards and only won 1 award for visual effects, I believe. Was it?
So next week, are you guys doing Crusade?
No. Next week we're gonna be doing Stand By Me. We're doing Stand By Me next week.
I better bring out the booze and start crying now.
Heavy summer movie. Heavy summer. We gotta get some writing in. It's gonna be a good one.
Congrats to Macaulay Culkin. You know, he just had a baby.
Oh, congrats to Macaulay Culkin. Dang.
Yeah. Because he's Stand By Me, right?
Huh?
That's Stand By Me, right?
No, that's not Stand By Me. That's River Phoenix. Will Wheaton.
Oh. What's the other one where Macaulay Culkin dies at the end of that one?
That's
My Girl.
His girl. My Girl.
Oh.
Anna Chlumsky.
Have you seen My Girl, Alice?
Not many years. I haven't seen it. That could be on the list sometime soon. But next week we're doing Stand By Me, which is a summer film. Rob Reiner.
That was also a
Stephen King novel into a film. It's gonna be good. All right, Storm. I miss you, baby. I'll see you soon.
See you soon.
Food fun.
Hang out, hot pot.
Damn.
On the hot summer.
Don't play with me. Let's do it.
Storm shoots.
Amazing.
Storm's the man. Storm is a buddy of ours, an amazing photographer. We can get one more person in before we get the last person in. So right now, Kali Ma. Oh, Kali Ma. Hashtag the first one that came in was Calvatrain. Maybe I'll get Calvatrain and this one after.
We can get him more than...
Maybe. What's up, Kali Ma?
Kali Ma. God, it gave me nightmares when I was a kid.
Knowledge or points of view. What are you thinking?
Okay, I agree with the previous guy about how it really seemed like Spielberg and Lucas just didn't give a crap about anything the whole time. There's a lot of things, even whenever I rewatch it now, that are I'd say just goofs in general, where you look at something interesting about this one, which I thought was kind of nice about it was you have you have Jewish or Christian mythology for the other two, right? And now you have Now you have Hindu mythology. And then it seems like it was some of like the most just racist stuff possible, like on how they approached it.
I know. I thought about that too. Like, what the hell is going on?
Indians.
I don't know if this is like border on. This is kind of racist, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Even stuff as simple as not just not just like the deity that you're dealing with, but you also like the monkey brains, the snakes, like stuff like that. It's like that doesn't it's not even in India. Like they wouldn't serve that anyway.
I was like, is that even Indian cuisine?
No.
Yeah, it's like not even close.
Like majority of the Indians are vegetarian.
Right. Yeah. So it's like not even remotely.
Indians, like majority of the Indians does not eat beef. They
Right.
barely eat meat,
Yeah.
and then they don't even eat.
They have a lot of dietary restrictions due to their religion, and so those are like obviously not even close to being like available. So I thought that was kind of funny.
It's 80s, 1980s.
Yeah, Cassie, you're right. I thought about that too. That's very fascinating.
So something else that's mentioned, I'm not sure if y'all do this. So another little bit of a I'm not going to delve in like to all the racist stuff that happens in it. But when Short Round is walking around and he's like, it feels like fortune cookies. They were made in America like after like World War II, and they weren't even called fortune cookies. So it wasn't even a thing that existed here. And he wouldn't even know what they were. They were like, it feels like fortune cookies. And it's like, no, I don't know about that.
Like the Asian sidekick kid. I actually did it one time too for a show back in the day called Booker. It was like a spinoff from 21 Jump Street, and my name was Ping Pong.
Okay.
His name was Short Round.
Good nickname.
I'll take Short Round over Ping Pong.
Yeah, Ping Pong is a thing. It's not even the name. And another thing is I noticed since you mentioned that.
And then what about the Thuggee cult? What's up with the Thuggee cult? That's a weird name.
Yes, the opening scene with the Indiana Jones sitting on the table in Shanghai and then talking to two or three Asian guy, and their lighting is terrible, and they're speaking Chinese.
Were those guys speaking Chinese?
Yes, apparently. I mean, I don't understand the word.
Maybe you don't speak Chinese as well as you think you do.
Have you ever seen the videos of someone says, how does your language sound to someone who doesn't speak it? And then they're speaking like an American accent, but they're not saying actual words. And you're like, this sounds
there's a YouTube video I saw like
American, but it's not words.
The foreigners doing
American
like gibberish. It was hilarious.
Yeah. I might sound like that when I'm speaking English.
No, you speak English well.
So I hope I'm not sound like those people try to speak Mandarin and when I speak English.
You don't know.
It's okay, Alice. It's fine. You're right above the what's acceptable, so it's okay. It's fine.
So, Calvin, where are you putting Temple of Doom in the pantheon of Indiana Jones?
I mean, it's above the Crystal Skull, so
definitely above the Crystal Skull.
I think it has. I think it has the most fun factor in it, just with how much just the violence in it, and everything else. I remember when we went and saw, like the Universal Studios puts on like an Indiana Jones skit, or whatever, and there's a dude that gets like bladed by like a plane that's like moving and sideswipes him, and he gets caught in the propeller. Then the actor like dips down in a trap door, but then it like shows him like getting killed. Like that level of violence is kind of what happens in this one. There's like 30, 40 plus people that get killed in it, and it's
the actors got killed, and the people get killed like right and left, like in the brutal way.
Yeah,
it's not like regular like bam bam, and then you die.
No, and what a joke!
Just like
no jokes. These guys
literally gives you like a clear picture of how they die, like breaking your.
What about the video game in the arcade? Did you play the video game in the arcade?
Wait, which one? You talking about like the pinball machine or what?
No, the one where you get you're doing the roller coaster thing.
Roller coaster one.
I don't think I've played that actually. No.
It's like the Temple of Doom video game. It's like a side. You have to kind of go up and down on the thing to.
We're not talking about the video games.
You can whip things.
Hey, if me and Dante are talking, we can talk about video games. Okay, that's how we roll.
Excuse me. We're not talking about video games.
So much. We got one more VIP we're gonna bring in here.
Maybe y'all have a good time.
I'll check you later on.
You.
All right, the last person that we're bringing in is who?
As last VIP guys. Hold on, where's my?
Is Alice.
Here. The Manta Rage.
Manta Rage.
I'm not sure she's on the...
Let's see if she's in. If she's not in, we'll bring someone else in.
Manta. No, not T-A. It's T. Oh, Manta. L-E. Space.
Yeah, no, underscore, no? Yeah, Manta Rage.
Yeah. The.
Yeah.
You forget the.
I know, but we're in here. She's not coming up.
Oh, here.
Let's see. Okay, we're gonna see. We're sending an invite to Manta Rage. If Manta Rage doesn't come in, we're gonna bring someone in. Looks like Cam's dance official, maybe. But let's see if we got the Manta Rage or the Manta Rage ain't with us right now. We have a few more minutes before the end of the hour. We're sitting in the heat. Kalima behind us. Kalima!
Oh my god.
Yeah, there was some stuff that might have been not acceptable today.
At this time.
Ethnically, I was questioning.
It's like questionably, like culturally doesn't make sense, and then like ethnically doesn't make sense to that specific ethnic people. Like we don't here to judge, but I mean for sure when they speak in Mandarin, I do not understand, so I'm gonna speak out. Steven Spielberg.
Dan Aykroyd was in the movie Melvin. Jim Doza said.
Okay, she's not here.
Okay, she's not here, so we're gonna bring
we're gonna bring
the last person I saw that come in was this person, Cam's dance official. She had Kalima right after Calvatrain, so we're gonna try to bring her in. Hey, hi. What's up? Ghostbusters in the background. What's up?
Ghostbusters in the background. The Ghostbusters second
Back
one's
to
gonna
the
come
future.
out.
I'm
funny.
excited about the new Ghostbusters.
Literally behind my computer desk, which is a complete mess right now, I actually have kind of like this, like the two corners. I had 2 Indiana Jones posters.
Let's talk about it. Drop the Temple of Doom on us right now. Give us your points of view, your thoughts on it.
Honestly, I think it was great. The one thing that I find really hilarious was that the fact that there was a scene that even the Mythbusters had to test out in the movie when they jump out the window, and they said, well, if 2 people jump out the window, is it true that any of those flap thingies that are above the windows, can it actually capture them? And I think the Mythbusters tried it, and I don't think it really worked out very well.
No.
So, of course, they would have died trying to do that. The dinner scene with the bugs and stuff, that grossed me out. I'm sorry. That was just...
Definitely gross. I think they're trying to get the audience, you know?
The audience. Also, it's kind of like...
Dude, the scene when the guy was like, what? You're not eating? And he's eating a beetle, and I'm just like, oh, dude.
That's disgusting.
Come to find out that the filling inside that beetle, I heard, was applesauce.
Makes sense. He was
because it looks like it.
It just paid off so good when he brought the plate of fruit to her room afterwards.
We're like,
I remember that so many years later. I totally remember that, and I think about that when I'm in other countries that I can't. Sometimes take me a while to eat the food in the first day or two.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes, especially growing up, but then you get that fruit, and you're like, that's all I need, a little fruit.
You guys remember that scene when this is after like when him and the girl were like him and Willie, they were like, you're gonna come to my room, and he's like,
yeah
clock.
Great scene.
5 minutes, they're kind of just like
I love that. Yeah, that's my favorite scene. It's clean on teeth.
Yes. So favorite, what do you put this movie in the pantheon of Indiana Jones films?
Yeah. Well, it's funny though is that when you're a kid, you miss things that the adults watch the movie at the time were like, oh, haha. Like when he finally breaks into her room and she's like, and this is after she was like, he's not coming. And then he busts through the door and she's like, Indy. And he's like, looking all like, oh, and be gentle. And then,
yeah, you didn't get that. When was the first time you saw it? How old were you when you first saw it?
Oh God, like probably 6 years.
Oh my God.
I know. I mean,
nightmares.
Any nightmares?
Monkey brain.
Honestly, the only thing that stuck with me was the scene when they forced his mouth open to drink the blood.
Oh yeah.
Where he's like, ah. And he's like knocking down stuff. the part that stuck with me was like when he has his hands on his face, and then he like realizes like oh, this isn't so bad, and then he does that creepy laugh.
Oh yeah.
I
What's that about? Like, what's that? Like, he just poisons himself and then you
Well, they're like, that's when they hypnotize him with that thing.
Yeah, that's why the little kid, when the kid who they said like is like kind of like a prince or something.
Yeah, the Maharishi.
He was under that because what happened was Short Round is like basically he's like the MVP of that movie.
Totally MVP.
He went out of the trouble of freeing himself from being in the chain. He, you know, he's like, screw this, I gotta save Indy. So he frees himself. He, you know, gets all the way to find Indy, and he realizes that using fire kind of like
gets him out.
Oh yeah. He discovers it by accident,
he was
right?
burning people. Yeah, he was burning people. That's the way you wake people up.
I remember
that's pretty good.
I love, like, oh,
he's great. He's amazing.
So Cam, I gotta ask you, our hour's about to end up, but I see all these nostalgia posters around your room. You don't look old enough to even be alive when most of these movies came out. So how did you get into nostalgia films? Why are you into them? Like, how are you into these classic films?
you can thank my mother for that.
Okay. That's it. It all comes down to your mom.
She was a little hesitant, I'm guessing, to watch any of the Indiana Jones movies because she knows they're violent. But at the same time, it was kind of like, well, you know, my mom didn't really care. I mean, for Pete's sake, when I was freaking 8 years old, she let me watch the movie Overboard.
with Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn?
Yes, sir.
I love that you love movies. You know, we're filmmakers and we make movies. Yes. And I see you and you talk about movies with such love and joy. And I see the background of your room and all the posters. You're like that. So you're who we hope love our movies when we make them.
Yes.
Actually,
I love it.
Hold up. Actually, here's something that's even. It's funny that you guys mentioned Funko because I'm actually trying to get a Funko. There was a guy selling a actual Indiana Jones Funko at a swap meet, and it's a Comic-Con one, and he was asking for $400.
Whoa!
Yeah,
it's
expensive.
$100 worth of a full.
You guys know that movie Big Trouble Little China?
Yes.
This guy had the entire set, and he was selling it for $500.
Damn, I have Low Pan from the movie. I have Low Pan for sure, but that's the only one I got.
Low Pan. Oh, wait, which one do you have? Do you have the glow in the dark one?
I don't know. It's the glow in the dark one, but I have one of them.
The glow in the dark one is the one where he's blue and he has like green eyes and stuff. He's a Chase version.
I don't think I got the Chase. I don't got the Chase.
Oh, Chase is hard to get. Chases are, you know, to be honest, like I love Indiana Jones. I love all the movies. Sean Connery, he's like
amazing.
He's amazing. I love the part though in the other movie when he's like, Junior, is that you? And it's like,
are you if you mind me ask, are you in the school or you graduated? What are you?
Oh, honey, I'm 27. I just look 18.
You look 18.
Fun fact, I actually met you, Dante, a long time ago at Comic-Con.
Which one?
I remember I came up to you to Comic-Con and, oh, God, I don't remember.
What city was it in?
San Diego.
Oh, San Diego. Oh, my God, that place is crazy.
Yeah, I remember seeing you and I was just like, when I first met you, in my head, I was like, okay, don't say something stupid and don't act like a moron. But then you were like, hi. And I'm just like, hi.
That's awesome. Well, hopefully we can get back to San Diego Comic-Con. I can throw another party down there and everyone can come out. We can kind of party.
Yeah, actually, Comic-Con just got approved for 2022.
Well, hopefully I'll see you in 2022. Out there in person. Thank you so much for joining us, Cam.
Yes. Oh, in fact, I love seeing the fact that I can see you in my room every day.
Hey, you got the whole collection.
Well, almost.
And you got the Blue Spirit. I need to get the Blue Spirit.
Actually, I got the Blue Spirit Chase and...
You're a gangster. When I see you, I'll sign it.
Oh, I might as well bring all of them. No, I'm kidding.
Thanks, Cam.
But yeah, I can't wait to see the next
Stand by me. You'll love it. Stand by me.
Is that the one when they're walking in the forest
Yes,
and stuff?
yes. That's the one on
Okay,
the train
all
tracks
right,
and
yeah.
stuff. Yes. We'll see
Okay.
you next week, Cam.
See you next week.
Yeah.
Bye. Thank you for joining.
Oh my God,
I
great.
like her. She's like,
she's
oh,
so
honey,
sweet.
I look young, but I'm 27.
So,
But he's still young.
I got that
27 is young.
fedora on. This was Indiana Jones, Temple of Doom. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for joining us, and see you guys next week.
Next week, Stand By Me
For
is the
Stand By
movie.
Me.
Some
And I'm not
movies
wearing
continue.
lingerie. I'm not wearing pajamas. This is not
Yeah,
pajamas.
check out our Instagram for sure for the Off of the Day today. All right, we'll see you guys next week.
All right, see you guys.
Kalima!
She just came. Our last VIP guest. She just came. Can I join?
Oh, man, we're out of here, but we'll grab you next week. We're so
out of
sorry.
time. I'm so sorry. We called you. You didn't pick up. All right, bye, guys.